Hey there! Today is lesson 2 of Celebrating Spring. Today's book is called The First Robin. It's in a really old book that used to belong to my great-grandma, and she would read it to me for many, many, many years. And she read it to my mom and my uncle. And this is a book about spring. It's called The First Robin. The First Robin. Spring was a little late. Look at that, there's still snow on the ground. It can't be spring yet. Well, there was yesterday. And Richard was a little early. There's Richard, he's a robin bird. It's a little baby robin. Kerchoo, he sneezed. Bless you, said kindly Groundhog, who was looking for a shadow. Thank you, said Richard, and he sneezed again. So there's Richard in the snow, and then there's kindly Groundhog. What a nice guy. That's a wicked sneeze, said kindly Groundhog. Come inside, I'll take your temperature. Kerchoo, said Richard again. Kindly Groundhog wrapped Richard in a warm blanket and filled a tub with hot water for Richard to soak his feet in. Then he shook down the thermometer and popped it into Richard's chattering beak. Exactly 3 minutes later, he took it out. Richard's temperature was 102 degrees. If symptoms persist, call your friendly doctor, said kindly Groundhog. Dr. Wisegray! Dr. Wisegray! Kindly Groundhog called. Across the meadow, Dr. Wisegray came running. Look at what kind of animal Dr. Wisegray is. He's a squirrel. That's kind of cool. So we have a robin inside, a groundhog, and a squirrel. Dr. Wisegray listened to Richard's heartbeat with his stethoscope. He said. It goes boom putty, boom, boom, boom. Rather a nice beat, he said, and he did a little dance. So there's Dr. Wisegray, the squirrel, with Richard. His feet are still in some hot water. He'll get better. And he sang a little song. Rest, rest, rest is best, best, best. Oh, put this bird to bed on a pillow 'neath his head, and rest his temperature. He has a common cold, which I've been told there is no cure. Then he danced out humming, boom putty, boom, boom, boom. There he goes. Kindly Groundhog tucked Richard into his own bed and gave him a big handkerchief to sneeze into, so as not to spread germs, and then to pass the time he cast shadows on the wall. He cast a crocus growing. Crocus is a flower. Does that kind of look like a flower? It's kind of cool. He cast a daffodil blooming. He cast a raindrop dropping. A daffodil's a flower too. And there's a raindrop. And a rabbit hopping. Then there was a beating of wings at the front door. Good heavens, said kindly Groundhog. Who could be calling at this hour? So there he is casting a rabbit. And then there's a knock at the door. It was Mrs. Robin. Excuse me, sir, for disrupting you at this hour, she said, but I saw your light was still on, and I have flown in from the warm country, looking for my son, who flew away, hoping to be the first robin of spring. It's Richard's mama. She's a big robin. Then Mrs. Robin saw Richard, and they flew into each other's wings. Kerchoo! Sneezed Richard happily. So there's Richard in bed, and he sees his mom, and he's so happy. Richard's mother opened her purse and took out a large bottle of medicine, which she handed to Kindly Groundhog, asking him to please shake it well. There's Kindly Groundhog shaking the medicine. Then she took out 3 silver spoons and placed them neatly on the bedside table. One by one, she filled the teaspoons with medicine, and one by one she gave them to Richard, who made an awful face after each spoonful, and 3 awful faces in all. He's taking some cough medicine. Sometimes medicine tastes yucky, but it's good for us to take. It helps us get better. Would it inconvenience you at all if I remained at Richard's bedside tonight? Asked Mrs. Robin. Not at all, said Kindly Groundhog. In fact, I insist. Just settle yourself in and I'll make you a nice cup of tea. Please don't fuss, said Mrs. Robin. I'm not fussing at all, said Kindly Groundhog, putting on the kettle. Making some tea. So through all the night, Richard's mother remained at his bedside, and every 4 hours she gave him his 3 teaspoons of medicine. Between times she sang him songs, as sweet as any nightingale's. Singing Richard's songs, and Kindly Groundhog's listening. At dawn, Richard got out of bed. Look, he's not sick anymore, yay! He went outside and saw a crocus growing. A daffodil blowing. He saw a raindrop dropping. And he saw a rabbit hopping. Look at that bunny. Do you see bunnies outside sometimes? I do here. It was spring. Oh, there's Richard. And Richard was the first robin. The end. Look how happy Richard is. I'm so glad he got better. So my question to you is, what signs of springs have you seen? I know I've seen some rabbits hopping, and I've seen some raindrops dropping. I haven't seen any flowers yet, but maybe you have. Maybe you have. Maybe you plant some flowers outside. Maybe they're starting to bloom a little bit. It's so fun. I can't wait to see what signs of spring you've seen. Post a video letting us know. Have a great night.